After much speculation, free agent wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. is ready to sign with a new team, and the NFL icon Michael Irvin predicts he will join either the Dallas Cowboys or the San Francisco 49ers. Do you agree with Irvin's assertion? Is there another team for whom Odell has preferences? Which ones are they? Keep an eye out for more information on the subject. To begin, consider what NFL legends had to say about Odell Beckham Jr.'s signing decision. Is it the Dallas Cowboys or the San Francisco 49ers? Let's find out. According to NFL legend Michael Irvin, star free agency receiver Odell Beckham Jr. will join the legendary Dallas Cowboys or the San Francisco 49ers for the rest of the 2022 season. The 30-year-old is the top free agent available, and the Cowboys are vying for his services. As a member of the Los Angeles Rams, Beckham was on his way to being named Super Bowl MVP in February when he tore his ACL during the Rams' win over the Cincinnati Bengals. The original expectation was that the charismatic receiver would find a team by mid-November, but sources now indicate that he will return to full health and sign with a team by December. The Cowboys are interested in acquiring Beckham's talents, and Irvin, who won 3 Super Bowls in a 12-year career in Dallas, believes his option is down to just 2 teams. The truth is, Odell wants to play for a legitimate contender. There's no question. Irvin stated on Thursday on 95.7 The Game's Damon and Ratto, San Francisco, Dallas, and Philadelphia are all contenders, but he's probably not interested because they're all pretty set. So it comes down to Dallas or San Francisco, and either of those 2 teams would satisfy him. To be honest, I know Odell, and I talked about him playing for Dallas when he was in New York and Cleveland, and we always talked about how it would be nice for him to play for Dallas since a lot of his family is in Dallas. Moving on, more specifics on Irvin's view on Odell's signing decision. Beckham has 40 catches for 558 yards and 7 touchdowns in 8 games versus the Cowboys with the New York Giants and Cleveland Browns. So Irvin is hopeful the receiver will sign with the NFC East team. Odell is built to be in Dallas, Irvin added. It would be a fantastic acquisition if Jerry Jones can get Odell. Despite boasting offensive weapons like CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup, the Cowboys now have the NFL's 25th best passing offense, and they have yet to have a receiver exceed the 100-yard mark in a single game this season. Dallas contemplated adding Houston Texans stars Brandon Cooks and Denver Broncos wideout Jerry Jeudy at the trade deadline after losing Amari Cooper to the Cleveland Browns in free agency, but nothing has come to fruition. The Cowboys are considered the favorites to sign Beckham, but the 49ers are said to be competing for his services. San Francisco general manager John Lynch and head coach Kyle Shanahan are reportedly open to adding Beckham, but are satisfied with their current offensive lineup. The 49ers have a slew of weapons, including Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, and former Carolina Panthers star Christian McCaffrey. Following that, Odell Beckham Jr.'s top 5 team preferences. With Beckham still on the market, there has been a lot of speculation about where he might sign, but it appears Beckham has revealed the 5 teams he would prefer to sign with. The topic came up on Thursday after former NFL player Marcus Spears, who now works for ESPN, suggested that Beckham sign with the Cowboys. Unfortunately for Cowboys fans, Odell quickly stated that he had no intention of going to Dallas. Following that exchange, Beckham challenged Spears to name the 5 teams for which the receiver wished to play. Spears then made his list, and Beckham responded by saying that Spears had hit the nail on the head with his list of 5 teams. "We see eye to eye," Beckham wrote on Twitter. According to league sources, Odell Beckham Jr. would like to narrow his current list of potential teams. This includes the Dallas Cowboys, Buffalo Bills, Kansas City Chiefs, New York Giants, and San Francisco 49ers as soon as possible. Decide by the end of the month. Each team is expected to be a playoff contender, something Beckham helped the Los Angeles Rams do last season. The Los Angeles Rams and Green Bay Packers may have been on Beckham's list, but as both teams fall further out of playoff contention, the less likely Beckham will sign with one of those teams. Next, what prompted Odell to select those teams? Are they suitable for him? Let's see. This list has no major surprises. Odell has made it clear that he wants to play for a contender, and 4 of the 5 teams listed above were on our list of his most likely landing spots earlier this week. We omitted the Ravens. The Rams have been pushing for Odell to return for months, and based on how their offense, they may be the team that needs him the most. The Packers would also use Beckham, and there could be some mutual interest, given that Green Bay was a finalist for OBJ's services before he signed with the Rams last season. If Beckham signs with the Chiefs, he will bolster an already already potent offense. If the Bills signed him, they'd have a solid 1-2 punch with Stephon Diggs and Odell Beckham Jr. They appeared to have a strong 1-2 punch with Diggs and Gabe Davis, but Davis has been hampered by an ankle injury this season. The Ravens are another intriguing alternative. Baltimore is certainly still looking for receivers, as seen by the rumored signing of Andy Isabella this week. Beckham isn't expected to be able to play until November, so he has a few months to decide who he wants to sign with. If one of these clubs collapses in the next 4 or 5 weeks, Beckham can remove them off his list. Moving on, Panthers QB Baker Mayfield is to start versus Ravens with PJ Walker dealing with a high ankle sprain. Baker Mayfield will return to the Carolina Panthers starting lineup in Week 11 against the Baltimore Ravens. Monday morning, interim coach Steve Wilks told reporters that PJ Walker had a high ankle sprain from Thursday night's win over the Atlanta Falcons, forcing Mayfield back into the starting lineup. According to Wilks, Walker played despite the injury, but he won't be available against Baltimore. Walker's return date is unknown, but the coach does not expect him to be placed on injured reserve. Mayfield will be supported by Sam Darnold, who has returned from an ankle ailment. Mayfield started the first 5 games of the season but failed miserably, completing 54.9% of his passes for 962 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. He suffered an ankle injury in Week 5, allowing Walker to take over as a starter. Mayfield came in half of the Panthers' blowout defeat to Cincinnati in Week 9 and played well, but Wilks elected to stick with Walker, who has led the Panthers to 2 of 3 of their victories this season. The Browns finished 3-5 in those starts, with Mayfield leading the way with an 83.2 passer rating and 13 touchdowns to 9 interceptions against Baltimore. Following that, Matt Ryan returns as a starter at QB for Colts versus Raiders over Sam Ehlinger. Matt Ryan will start at quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts against the Las Vegas Raiders on Sunday. Ryan is making this first start 3 weeks after being benched in favor of Sam Ehlinger before Indy's Week 8 game. Then head coach Frank Reich stated that Ryan was suffering from a grade 2 shoulder separation at the game, but they would have made the quarterback change regardless of the injury. Ehlinger went 0-2 with a 61.5 passing percentage, 304 yards, and 2 touchdowns in 2 starts. Reich has been fired since Ryan's benching, and owner Jam Isray has hired former Colts center Jeff Saturday as interim head coach, a controversial choice who has now made his first major decision in bringing Ryan back. However, the veteran was 3-1 before Ehlinger took over. But with a new head coach and a healthy shoulder, Ryan is getting another chance to take the reins and lead his team, beginning with today's game against the Raiders. Finally, Cowboys RB Ezekiel Elliott, knee, inactive versus the Packers. Cowboys running back Ezekiel Elliott is out for Sunday's game against the Green Bay Packers due to a knee injury. Elliott received the injury in the Cowboys' Week 7 game against the Lions and missed Dallas' next game before the bye. Elliott has been known to play through injuries in the past, including last season. Still, the Cowboys have taken a cautious approach to his recovery this time around. They decided it's better to keep him out of the game as long as needed for his knee to be ready, rather than worrying that playing through it could make it worse. Elliott was a limited participant in practice every day, 3 weeks out from the first injury. There was discussion from coaches, owner Jerry Jones, and Elliott that he could be ready to return to the field this week at Lambeau Field. But in the end, they decided that it was better to be safe than sorry, and Zeke's homecoming would have to wait at least another week. Elliott has 443 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns in the 7 games he has started this season. What are your thoughts on our video? Will Odell decide between the Dallas Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers? Do Odell Beckham Jr.'s top 5 team preferences match his qualifications? Please tell us in the comment section. Well, that marks the end of our video today. On your way out, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.